Hallo, guten Abend.
Guten
Can you all
Abend,
hear
ma'am.
me? Yeah. Okay, we'll just wait a couple of minutes, guess, for the rest of them also to join in. I see people are still joining. Okay. Okay. All right. So then we will start. Okay.
Your voice is not audible.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
It's still at the lower end, but okay.
Okay. I don't know if it is my voice actually. I'm having a very bad throat. So
Oh, okay, okay.
yeah. Am I audible now?
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay. Uh, yeah. All right. So I actually just wanted to ask you all. I think I'll do a little bit of a shorter class today for an hour or so. I'm not able to speak a lot. Okay. So I don't want to just cancel the class. So I thought I'll take a class, but I'll probably do a short class. We'll do one topic today that we were gonna be doing from the last class, continue it into that. Okay. And then we'll stop around an hour or so. Okay. Yeah. All right. So
Hello.
yeah, let us start. Yeah. Y'all can hear me, right? All of you? Yeah, just tell me if y'all can't hear. I'll probably just increase the volume in that case.
But
Yeah. Okay, just give me 1 minute. I'll share my screen and we can start. Okay. So, anybody have any questions, any doubts from whatever we have done previously? Alles okay mit Pronomen? Everything clear? Yeah. Pronouns,
Yes, ma'am.
everything okay? Yeah. So we'll just brush the pronouns once quickly. Okay. And then we will continue with the next topic. Okay. So yeah, just give me one moment. Let me just share my
uh,
screen and then
ma'am,
we
can
can start.
you repeat the other person
Yeah,
name?
yeah. I will repeat all of the pronouns. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just give me a moment. I'll share my screen and I'll repeat all of it. One second. Yeah, just a minute. Yeah. Okay. So we have wiederholen jetzt diese Pronomen. Okay. So we'll repeat the pronouns once. All right.
Hello, ma'am. Hello.
So yeah. Audible?
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am. My
Oh,
Bluetooth doesn't work, so I can't ask you any question. So
okay.
this is my first lecture, ma'am. So I have gone through
Okay.
the
Okay.
recordings and
Okay. You've
all
gone
this
through the
stuff. I have
previous
some
recording.
doubts, ma'am.
Okay. All right. So what you can do is you can just hang back till probably the end of the class. If you don't mind, we can discuss the doubts after the class is over. Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am. No issue, ma'am. No issue.
All right. Okay, so just wait back after we are done with the class and let me know what problems you are having. Okay?
Okay, okay,
Aaj.
ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, yeah. All right. So we're beginning. Yes, we will go ahead. Okay. So pronomen. Okay, personal pronomen. Okay. So whenever we made state or whenever we make statements or whenever we are about to have a conversation with somebody in Deutsch, the first thing that you all will have to take into consideration are the pronomen. Okay, that is where how are you addressing and who are you addressing in a conversation. Okay, so erste Person pronomen, that is your first person pronomen, is ich. Okay, so like you can see in the picture, the finger points to yourself. Okay, so whenever, sorry, whenever you have a conversation about yourself, okay, so I give you information about my own self. For example, ich komme aus Indien oder ich wohne in Berlin, let's say. Ich spreche Englisch und Deutsch. Okay, so that ish in that conversation is you yourself, that is your I. Okay, so as you can see, finger pointing towards yourself, that is your ish. Okay, then we come to the next person, that is the person you are communicating with or the person whom you are talking to. Okay, so when it comes to second persons can either be formell zweiter Person, that is, you can address your second person formally, or you can address your second person informally. Okay, so your informal second person singular is du. Okay, that is when you are addressing a second person and you are addressing the second person informally. Okay, so let's say in a case where you are talking to your friend, you are talking to somebody from your family. Okay, you are talking to peers. Okay, maybe. Okay, so in that case you're gonna address that second person singular as du. Okay, danach kommen wir zur formell zweiter Person. That is somebody, your second person whom you are addressing. Okay, whom you are addressing formally. Okay, now in this case, this could be your boss, this could be somebody who is very elder to you at a very senior level, a senior position, when we talk of authorities for that matter. Okay, so that is going to be your formel Z. This is your zweite Person Z. S is gonna be your capital. Okay, so zweite Person, second Person du, und second Person sie. It's like you can see the finger pointing toward the person in front of you. So das ist du oder sie. Okay, then you come to the third person. That is the person with whom you speak indirectly. Okay, so das ist ein indirekter Person. That is, I am talking about this particular person. Okay, not to this person. So when you talk about, okay, it could either be a person, that is, I could be talking about a person, or I could be talking about a thing. Okay, so like we discussed, non-living things are always gonna be third persons, because I cannot talk to my laptop, I cannot talk to my television, I cannot talk to my phone. So if, let's say, I am giving you information about these, in that case I am going to be talking about them as indirect persons or dritter person. So all nouns have genders. Okay, so when your third person is masculine, personal pronomen is er. Okay, when your dritter person is feminine, pronomen is sie. Okay, and when your third person is neutral, pronomen is s. Okay, so dritter person singular er, dritter person singular masculine er, dritter person singular feminin sie, dritter person plural neutral s. Okay,
And
so
so,
er,
can
sie,
you
and
give an
s.
example of neutral gender, like where you would use the third person?
Das Auto. So if I'm talking about a car, I use that pronoun as S. So as far as sentences are concerned, like I said, just wait back. Once we learn the verbs, we will take a look at the examples. But if we want the example of a noun, no, then if I'm talking about das Auto or a das Baby, okay, then
Mm.
how do I address that noun in terms of a pronoun? I'm talking about a baby. So this is das Baby. So it becomes S. Or I'm talking about a car.
It may
Okay.
be a male baby or a female baby, right? It can
Yeah,
be.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. That is okay. The gender is not for the person. The gender is for the noun. Okay.
Oh,
So,
okay.
okay. So baby as a noun is neutral. So it's not about if the baby is male or female. That's not nothing to do with it. What is the gender of the word? That is what it is. Okay. So the genders are always associated with the nouns. What this means is that the gender is for the word. Gender is not for the person. So das Baby, das Auto, neutral nomen. So neutral nomen, pronomen is S. Okay, so das ist er, sie und es. Okay, yeah, so das sind singulare Pronomen. Overall, we only have first person, second person, third person. So first person singular, second person singular, third person singular. Okay, after that, we come to plural zweiter Person, plural erster Person. Okay, that is wir. That is, your ich is no longer singular. Your ich is a part of a larger group. That is meine, zum Beispiel meine Freunde plus ich. That is my friends plus I. Okay. Or let's say my students plus I. Okay. So let's say we all decide we want to take a trip somewhere. So that is together. Okay. So your ich here is not going to be singular. Ish here is not going to be singular. Okay, your ish here is not doing anything alone. Your ish is a part of a larger group. Okay, and this can mean that there is only one person with your ish. Okay, so ish and one more person. The moment it is more than one, it becomes plural. Okay, so this is then wir. Okay, zweite Person plural. Okay, now second person plural formal is sie. Okay, this is formal Z, S capital. So it doesn't matter. Like I talk to one older person, I talk to two older people, it is going to be Z with S gross. Okay. Then we come to zweite Person. Okay. Informal. This is ihr. So the pronoun that you have here is ihr. So you can always look at these pictures. See, here the person is talking to one person, singular. So this is du. But here he's talking to two people, no? So the second person is more than one. So the example I gave you in the last class is how we are conducting this class right now. Okay, that is, I am speaking, so I become the first person. And who am I speaking to? I am speaking to all of you. Okay, so you all become my second persons. All right, so this is then ihr. Okay, so zweite Person ist ihr. Okay, plural. And then we come to dritte Person. Dritte Person, plural. Okay, the pronomen here is going to be sie. That is, the S here is again going to be small. Now, since these are pronouns, no, they always stand for a noun. That is, contextually, when you are using them in statements and questions, you will know what kind of Z you are using, or if let's say you're reading something, you will know what kind of Z is being used. Okay, so if I am talking about one woman, I know that it is third person singular and feminine. But if I am talking about two people, I'm talking about, let's say, a couple of gadgets, it also includes non-living things. So when I am talking about a number of things or a number of people at a time, and I am addressing them indirectly, that is, I am addressing them as third persons. Okay, so in that case, the pronoun is gonna be Z. Okay, so how we will identify the difference between this Z, that is feminine Z, and plural Z? Okay, that is gonna be dependent on what you all are trying to say or whom are you all addressing. If you are addressing 2-3 people at a time or 2-3 things at a time, okay, indirectly, then of course it becomes a third person plural Z. But if I am addressing a feminine noun, then is thus Z feminine. Is this clear? Yeah. Is this clear? Any questions? Yeah. So far good now? Yeah? All right.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
the air, V and S is it like he, she or it?
Yeah. It is like that, but like we have discussed, please go through the 4th class very clearly to understand this. That is how genders have nouns. Okay, so it is similar, but it is not exactly used the way it is used in English. Okay, so that is something that you all are gonna have to keep in mind. So for the genders, the concept of genders basically that we have for nouns, please go through the recording of the fourth class. Okay, class number, or what are this is class number 4. Okay, so you go through the fourth class, you will understand how we use genders for nouns. Okay, clear?
Okay, ma'am.
All right. Yeah. Okay. All right. 1 second. Now, based on this, we will be going ahead and learning verbs. Okay. So, wir lernen jetzt Verben und das Thema here is Verb Conjugation. Okay. Verb conjugation. So, can anybody tell me what a verb conjugation might be? What do you understand by verb conjugation? What do you understand if I tell you, yeah, let's conjugate a few verbs? Okay, what do you understand by the term verb conjugation? Anybody? Yeah, you can just take a guess. It's okay. Yeah. Anyone? Yeah. What do you think a verb conjugation is? Yeah.
Something like but and so something to make up a sentence.
That is a
Like,
conjunction.
like I am, he is.
Huh?
Yes.
Yeah, correct. I am, he is. Okay, that is an example of a conjugation. Okay. Yeah, correct. All right. So what you said, something that connects or something like, oh, you say but or and something like that. They are not conjugation. So there are two words that you have here. You need to be careful with that. One is a conjunction. Okay. So when you say but or and all of these, they become conjunctions. That is, they help you connect two words or they help you connect two sentences. Okay. What we are talking about is a conjugation. Okay, so basically the example she gave of a conjugation is like when you say I am or you are or he is or she is. Okay, that way. But okay, if I take away the example and we have to understand what exactly does that conjugation means. Okay, so in simple terms, conjugation is nothing but an adjustment. Okay, conjugation is nothing but an adjustment that you make to the word. Okay, so words have their original forms. Like if you ask me what is eating called in Deutsch, or what is drinking called in Deutsch, or what is going called in Deutsch. So you have all of these actions, you have all of these that we use, or all of these verbs that we use in order to make sentences. Okay. Now, firstly, we have to understand that in any language, you cannot make a sentence without the verb. Okay, because if you don't have the verb, okay, you can't go ahead with communication. All right, so this again becomes the foundation, or this becomes sort of a base of your language. Okay, so getting the conjugations correct is going to be the first step to talking correctly, writing correctly. All right. So if we come back to what we were discussing as to, okay, what is conjugation? Conjugation is just an adjustment that you make to the verb. Okay. Depending on who is doing that action or depending on what is basically said in a sentence. Okay, so that is called as a verb conjugation. You do that in every language, whether you learn it actively or separately, or like probably in English, I don't think we were taught conjugation and conjugation when we learned it, but this is the concept which is again there in all languages. That is, the moment your pronouns go on changing, the verb form that you use has to go on changing. Okay, so the form of the verb has to go on changing. All right, so that is what we have, or that is what we call as verb conjugations. Okay, so what we will be learning today is we will be learning how to conjugate verbs, and then the next step after conjugating verbs is to finally be able to make sentences. Okay, so for the next two classes, we are only going to be focusing on different verbs that we have in Deutsch and how to use them. Okay, that is, we start to see how will we be using them in sentences. Okay, clear? All right. So now verbs in Deutsch are divided into two categories. I'll update the sheet on your notes. So if you want to make any personal notes, you can, but don't worry if you're not writing down. I'll put up the entire thing on your worksheet. Okay. So verbs in Deutsch are divided into two categories. Okay. Es gibt zwei Kategorien. Kategorie 1 ist regelmäßige Verben or verbs are called as regelmäßig. Regelmäßig bedeutet regular, meaning regular. Okay, that is your verbs are going to be regular verbs. Okay, and the second category that we have are verbs are going to be irregular. That is, they are irregular verbs. Okay, so you have regelmäßig and unregelmäßig. Das heißt, Verben sind regelmäßig und unregelmäßig. Okay, now we are going to be learning verbs, of course, which are relevant to you at the A1 level. Okay, of course, when it comes to a language, as you go ahead, as you progress, you're going to have a lot of vocabulary that is going to come your way. Okay, so you're going to be learning newer verbs at every level. You go to A2, you will learn new verbs. You go to B1, you learn new verbs. But right now, we are starting out with the basic verbs. Okay, the Verben, die für A1 relevant sind. That is the words which are relevant for you right now. Okay, so today we will be starting with regular verbs. I'm just going to do the regular verbs with you today. Okay, another reason for that is that when you do too many verbs at a time, it can also be a little bit confusing because you have to remember the meanings of these verbs as well. Huh? So I usually prefer to do one category of verb in one class and then the next category of verbs in the next class. Okay. All right. All right. So we will be starting out with, sorry. Yeah. So we'll be starting out with regelmäßige Verben. Okay. That is, we will be starting out with regular verbs. So we will understand how to use these regular verbs and how to conjugate them basically. Okay. Now, conjugation of the verbs or the adjustment of the verbs that we spoke about depends on the pronouns that we have learned previously in the previous class. That is, you conjugate your verbs for ich, für du, er, sie, es, formell sie, wir, ihr, okay? Dritte Person Plural sie und formell Plural sie. You will have nothing out of this 8. Okay, so whenever you are speaking, it will be about either of the one things. Okay, it is either going to be about first person, second person, or third person. Okay, respectively, if it is going to be formal or informal, singular or plural. Okay, so that is how we are going to learn to conjugate the verbs. Now, which verbs are regular and which verbs are irregular? This is something that you have to remember. But like I have been telling you all, there is no need for you all to by heart this. You will just learn that with practice. So once we finish the verbs, no, the concept of the verbs, we will be going to sentence formation, question formation. Okay, we will see how to use these verbs in sentences. And after that, we're going to be doing a lot of practice exercises in the class. Okay, so you will remember the conjugations of the verbs. Okay, you will remember the conjugations of these verbs. Okay, slowly with practice. Okay, but the basic thing here is you need to remember which verbs are regular and which verbs are irregular. Okay, so if you are confused, you can always go to the dictionaries, check the conjugation, okay, and then conjugate it. As far as the verbs which you need to learn, Whatever verbs which that we are doing in the class, they are more than enough for A1. Okay, so the list of regular verbs that we will do now, or the verbs that we will be doing in the next class as irregular verbs, those verbs are enough for A1. Add on to them the verbs which we will do during practice. Okay, so when I say that, yeah, we will practice exercises and we do all of those, all of those verbs as well. So sometimes in your exercises, you may come across some new verbs. So the verbs that we have on the notes, the verbs that we will be doing in our exercises, they are gonna be more than enough. Okay, apart from that, if you all come across any verb, okay, you can always come back with that verb in the class. You can discuss it with the entire class, meanings, conjugation. So that of course we'll be doing, but what we have here is more or less enough for your A1 level. Okay, so let us start with regelmäßige verb. Okay, now, sorry, yeah, all right. So, all right. So we will start now with regelmäßige Verben. Okay. Now the conjugation of regelmäßige Verben or regular verbs is very simple. Okay. Yeah. So the conjugation of regelmäßige Verben or regular verbs, like I said, it's very simple because it follows a pattern. Okay, it follows a pattern, it follows a rule. So once you know that a verb is regular, okay, this is how you're gonna conjugate it. Okay, so let us see that. Now, if you see all verbs that you have in Deutsch, no, they are divided into two parts. Okay, so a verb is always divided into two parts. Okay, you will see that all verbs in Deutsch are going to have an en ending. Okay, so it is going to have an en ending. Okay, this en is called as an Endung. Okay, Endung auf Deutsch bedeutet ending. Okay, so if you see, this is going to be the ending. Das ist en. Okay, take any verb, take regelmäßige Verb, take unregelmäßige Verben, take any other verb which we are going to be learning later on in the course. It doesn't matter. You have a verb in Deutsch, the ending has to be en. Okay, there are no multiple endings in Deutsch. Okay, all verbs are going to have the word ending en. Okay, so this an, that part of the word, that an of the word, that is called as an endo. Sorry. Yeah, that is called as an endo. All right. And whatever falls behind that an, okay, that is called as a stem. Okay. So that is called as the stem of the word, or that is called the stem. Okay. Ja, so Verben haben zwei Teile. Okay, verbs have two parts. One is the stem, okay, and other is the endo. Okay, clear? Now, of course, this feels a little bit technical, but this helps you ease your process of conjugating the verbs. Okay, so now the first verb that we have here on the screen that we are going to conjugate is the verb kommen. Okay, kommen, the verb we have learned when we did our self-introduction. Ich komme aus Indien. Woher kommen Sie? Klar? So kommen heißt to come from. Okay, so let's say if I come from a supermarket, I'll still use the verb kommen. If I'm saying I come from India, I'll still use the verb kommen. Okay, so the Bedeutung here is, okay, to come from. Okay, now when we are conjugating the regelmäßige Verben, the stem part of the verb, okay, that is this come, is gonna say this is it's gonna stay the same throughout the conjugation. Okay, it doesn't matter. You conjugate the verb for ish, you conjugate the verb for do, you conjugate the verb for z or s. Okay, the stem of the verb is gonna remain the same. So com, everywhere. Okay. What changes, however, is the ending. Okay, das heißt, die Endungen sind nicht gleich. They're not going to remain the same throughout the conjugation. What this means is if I'm talking about myself as a first person, the way I use the verb is different. When I talk about my second person or when I talk to my second person, the way I use the verb is going to be different. When I talk to the third person, the way I use the verb is going to be different, so on and so forth. Okay, so for ish, the ending is a. Okay, so the conjugation becomes ish, comma. So this is, let's say, if you want to add your statement completely here that we have learned, this becomes ish, comma, okay, ish, comma, aus Indien. Na? Ish, comma, aus Indien. Okay, so this is for your erste Person. So the conjugation here is ish, comma. Okay, zweite Person conjugation is du. So let's say I am talking to the second person. So I will say, okay, ich komme aus Indien, aber du kommst aus Indien. Clear? I will not say du komme. I'll say du kommst because zweite Person is st. Du kommst. So the ending here is st ending. RZS ending is stay. So this becomes kommt aus Indien, sie kommt aus Indien, es kommt aus Indien. So I can say, okay, Paul kommt aus Deutschland, Anna kommt aus Deutschland und das Baby kommt aus Deutschland oder das Kind kommt aus Deutschland. Now understanding how that ish, do, RZS is relevant in sentence formation? Okay. Sie formell ist auch kommen. So, sie kommen aus Indien. Okay. Wir kommen. Okay, no change. Sie kommen, wir kommen. Wir kommen auch aus Indien. Na? So, if I'm saying, referring to all of us collectively, wir, sorry, wir kommen aus Indien. Okay. Ihr kommt aus Indien. So if I am the first person, you all become my second person. I'll say, yeah, ihr kommt aus Indien. Okay, sie plural kommen aus Indien. Again, so sie kommen. Und formell sie nochmals kommen aus Indien. Okay, so if you look at how your conjugation will be, okay, if you all want, you all can stay on mute, but you all can repeat it after me. Okay, yeah. Sorry. Ich komme, du kommst, es kommt. Okay. Sie kommen. Wir kommen. Ihr kommt. Sie kommen. Sie kommen. Okay. So if you remember the question that we had, okay, das war, woher kommen Sie? I told you that this was a formal question. Okay, sorry. Okay, woher kommen Sie? Okay, woher kommen Sie? Das war eine formelle Frage. Why was it a formal question? Because here you are using Sie. Okay, so this was Sie. Woher kommen Sie? So the answer to that was Ich komme aus Indien. Why that? Because you are being Okay, so you are being addressed as a second person by somebody. Somebody is asking you, okay, woher kommen Sie? But I answered as ich komme aus Indien. Now, if I want to make the same question informally, okay, so now zweite Person informal ist kommst, na? Du kommst. So your conjugation now will become woher kommst du? Okay, yeah. Woher kommst du? Answer will still remain ich komme aus Indien. Okay, because see, it doesn't matter how somebody addresses me. Okay, I might have somebody who might address me as Z as a second person. I might have somebody who addresses me as du as a second person. But I remain ish always. No, my response is never gonna change based on how the people address me. So answers to both these will be ish comma aus Indien. Now, if I'm talking about a third person, okay, so Beispiel here is woher kommt Paul zum Beispiel. Okay, so we are taking a third person masculine. Now I am addressing somebody by their name indirectly. Now, so Paul is not in the conversation anymore. I am the first person. I am asking my third person. Woher kommt Paul? So your answer here can be er, because that er is now a pronoun that we are using for Paul. So das ist dann kommt zum Beispiel aus Deutschland. Okay, so das ist kommt aus Deutschland. Okay, so this is how your verb conjugations go on changing. Again, we are going to be learning the sentence structures, the questions in detail. So how did we come with this woher kommen Sie? What does this woher mean? Okay, all of that we are going to be learning when we learn sentence formations and questions formations in detail. This is just to help you understand the conjugation of the verbs. Okay, so if I am talking about ish, my verb is going to be used differently. If I am talking about do, my verb is going to be used differently. If I'm talking about third person Z or S, my verb is used differently. So every time I use a use a pronoun based on if it is a first person, second person, or third person, the way I conjugate it, it's gonna be different. And this is the way of conjugation for all regelmäßige Verb. Okay, so if you have a regular word, okay, this is how you're gonna conjugate it. You're gonna take out the ending, keep the stem as it is, that whatever falls behind that en, that is gonna stay as it is. Okay, and then you're just gonna add the appropriate endings to it. So ish ending is a, du Endung ist este. RCS Endung ist ste. Sie Endung ist en. Wir again an. Ihr it's ste. Sie again it is an. Understood? Anybody has any questions, any doubts? Okay. Clear? Understood the concept? I'm going to practice the words with you. But have you understood what we are doing here? Anybody has any questions, any doubts? Alles okay? Yeah, I think your chats are not on today. Like, I'm guessing the chats haven't been activated. Okay.
Are we saying
Yeah.
that the ending is the same as all regular words?
I'm so sorry. Can you repeat your question? I was unable to hear you.
Is the ending the same for all regular words?
Yeah. The endings, it's the same for actually all regular and irregular verbs. So the endings to the conjugation a, este, this is gonna remain same throughout all conjugations. How irregular verbs are different, that we will learn, but the endings are gonna stay same throughout the conjugations of the verbs. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So now here I have a list of verbs. Okay. Now, basically, I have put this same list in a tabular form for you all, for us to conjugate. Okay. So, okay. So what we'll be doing now is we will conjugate some of the verbs. Okay. And then we will be repeating these verbs. So today, like I said, our focus is only going to be on regelmäßige Verben. But before I discuss these verbs with you, I first want you all to try and conjugate them. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry. I want you all to conjugate them first by yourself. Okay, so we will do it in groups of like three verbs. Okay, you all can note it down in a on a pen, like with a pen and paper. If you want, you can take a screenshot of this sheet. Okay, and then you can edit it on your device if you all want to. Once we are done with the conjugation, I'll put up the answers on your worksheet, and you all can refer the correct answers over there. As in, we'll discuss it in the class, and after that, I'll put it up on the worksheet. Okay. I'll give you the meanings of the words, and I'll also write down the endings now. So, stam remains the same. Okay. So, whatever falls behind that en, that is going to remain the same. Ish, ending is a. Okay. So, all verbs with ish will end with a. Du, ending is este. Okay. Erzias, ending is stay. Okay. Wir, ending is an, no change. Okay. Ear, ending is again te. Z plural, ending remains the same. Z formal, singular and plural remains the same. Okay. So the first verb that we have here is singen. Okay. Singen, meaning to sing. Okay. Clear? All right. So singen is to sing. Okay. Yeah. Then we go on to the verb fragen. Okay. So the meaning of the verb fragen is to ask. Okay. So if I ask you a question or you ask me a question, that action of asking somebody, das ist fragen. Okay. Then we have the verb suchen. Suchen means to search. Okay, all these are regular verbs. Okay, so you all can refer to these tables again, especially when we are solving exercises, or if you are not able to recollect the conjugation of any verb, you can always come back to these tables. Okay, then we have the verb besuchen. Besuchen has to visit. Okay, klar? Danach haben wir das Verb gehen. Gehen is to go. Common opposite of that is gehen. Okay. Then trinken. Trinken is to drink. Okay. So Wasser trinken, Kaffee trinken. Okay. So that's this trinken. Then we have the verb beginnen. Beginnen is to begin. Okay. There are some verbs which sound very similar to English. So it's very easy to guess their meanings. Okay. Then studieren. Okay. So if you see, it's a longer verb, but doesn't matter. It means to study, and it is a regular verb. So your stem is gonna stay the same. You only change the ending. Okay. Tanak, you have the verb rufen. Rufen is to call out for somebody. Okay. So if I call out your name, if I'm calling you at this point, your okay, the verb that you will use here is rufen. Okay. So before I go ahead and discuss these conjugations with you, I want you all to try to conjugate them yourself. Okay. So either take a screenshot of this and try to edit it in the photo format in your devices, if that's possible. If not, I would still suggest it's always more helpful to write them on a paper instead of only typing it. You just remember it better. Okay, but suit yourself, whatever works for you all, it's fine. Okay, so you don't have to write it. If you can edit it on the screen, that is also fine. Okay, all right. So, Mackenzie does. All right. So, I'll give you 5 minutes. We will do three verbs. Okay, clear? Three verbs we will do. Or do you all want to do the entire thing together? Okay. We'll do 3 verbs or okay, how many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so let's do 4 verbs. 4 verbs and then 5 verbs. Okay, so conjugate the first 4 verbs, singen, fragen, suchen und besuchen. We will discuss the answers of them. Okay, and then y'all can go ahead and do the next verb. So this is all that we are going to be doing in today's class. After we are done with this, we will stop. On Friday, we will do some more practice of verb conjugations, and then we will go to irregular verbs if time permits. If not, irregular verbs we'll start on Monday. Okay, because it's important that you remember all of these verbs. Plus, you remember the conjugations. So, when you solve exercises, when you write, when you speak, depending on the verb you're using, you also need to know how do I conjugate this verb. Okay, so that's why this part requires a bit of practice, which we will be doing in the class itself. Okay, so I'll give you roughly 5 minutes or so to do the first 4 verbs. Keep whatever is behind en as it is, and then write down, just change the endings to these. Okay, so machen Sie das 5 bis 10 Minuten. Once you all are done, okay, we'll discuss the answers. Clear? All right, so start. Erste 4 Verben. Okay, yeah. Okay, yes, no. Y'all are awfully quiet today. What happened? Understanding or no? Sorry, I'm not able to turn on my camera because I'm really like a mess right now. But
Yes, yes.
okay, yeah. But yeah, if y'all have any questions, just let me know. Yeah. Okay. So machen Sie das, then we'll discuss. Yeah, sind Sie fertig? Are you all done?
Yes, ma'am.
Ja, alle sind fertig? Ja, okay. Ja, also, so wir beginnen jetzt. I'll repeat it once, you all can also repeat it after me. Okay, so ich, Konjugation von singen ist ich singe. Okay, du singst. Okay, ja, so du singst. Okay, sie, es singt. Okay, dann wir singen. Okay, ihr singt. Okay, wenn sie singen. Okay, okay, und dann weiter. Formell sie, das ist auch singen. Klar? Any problem? Confusion? Nein? Alles okay? Also,
Ma'am,
ja? Ja?
second person and third person, can you repeat?
So
You
second
and
person,
yeah.
yeah. So second person is the person you are talking to. Huh? That is you. That is either formal or informal. Third person is the person you talk about. That is indirectly. So let's say I am the first person. I'm talking to you. You are my second person. So you are the do. Okay, but let's say we have a friend and we are talking about that friend right now. So that is your masculine is er, feminine is sie, neutral is s. Okay, so that is your
Okay,
er,
ma'am.
sie und s. Got it?
I wanted to know about the pronunciation, ma'am. How do
Yeah,
we
du,
pronounce it?
du, er, sie und s. Okay, yeah, so this is ich singe, du singst, sie es singt, wir singen, ihr singt, sie singen. Okay, then weiter, we have fragen. So das ist ich frage, du fragst. Okay, then sie es fragt. Okay, wir fragen. Okay, ihr fragt. Okay, sie fragen. Okay, und sie fragen. Okay, dann weiter. Ich suche. Okay, ich suche. Du suchst. Okay, sie es sucht. Okay, then wir suchen. Okay, ihr sucht. Okay, dann weiter. Sie suchen. Okay, und sie suchen. Okay, then weiter. We go on to besuchen. So besuchen is to visit. Okay, so ich besuche. Okay, du besuchst. Okay, sie es besucht. Okay, then wir besuchen. Okay, wenn ihr besucht. Okay, then sie besuchen. Okay, und dann sie besuchen. Okay, so das ist auch besuchen. Klar? Understood? Any questions now? All right. Okay. Clear? So you all can try the rest now. Okay, another 5 minutes. We'll discuss these and then we can stop for the day. Okay, I have more verbs for you for the next class, but with these we will be doing later, not today. Okay, so far you can just go through whatever we have done and practice it. Okay, your homework exercises and everything I'll start giving you out from next week. Okay, so we could just do these verbs once and then we can stop. Okay? Yeah. So machen Sie das, danach diskutieren. Okay, we discuss after this. Okay. Yeah. Fertig? Shall we discuss? Yeah or nein? Yeah? All right. Okay. So we beginnen jetzt. Okay. So ich gehe. Okay. The sound of her, sorry, the sound of her in Deutsch is very subtle. So we don't say gehe. Okay. Es ist gehe. Also, so ich gehe, du gehst. Okay. Sie, es geht. Also, dann wir gehen. Okay. Ihr geht. Okay. Sie gehen. Okay. Sie gehen. Sie gehen. Klar? So. Dann weiter. Ich trinke. Okay. Dann du trinkst. Also, dann sie, es trinkt. Okay. Dann wir trinken. Okay. Ihr trinkt. Okay. Ihr trinkt. Entschuldigung. Ha, trinkt. Ja. Ihr trinkt. Okay. Sie trinken. Okay. Und dann weiter. Das ist auch. Sie trinken. Okay. Dann weiter. Ich beginne. Okay. Klar. Ich beginne. Okay. Also, dann du beginst. Okay, clear? All right. So, okay, just see there's some it's editing on its own. Just 1 second. Yeah. Okay. Then your the Lincoln. Okay. Yeah. Entschuldigung. So ich beginne, du beginnst, sie es beginnt. Okay. Okay. Then we are beginnen, no change. Okay. Okay. We are beginnen. Okay. Then ihr beginnt. Okay. Then weiter. Sie beginnen. Okay. Und dann sie beginnen. Sorry. Ja. Klar? Also, dann weiter studieren. Okay, das heißt to study. So, ich studiere. Okay, dann du studierst. Okay. Okay, okay. Dann er, sie, es studiert. Okay, danach wir studieren, no change here. Okay, ihr studiert. Okay, sie studieren. Okay, und dann sie studieren. Clear? Okay, und das letzte Verb hier, das ist ich rufe. Okay. Okay. Ich rufe, du rufst. Okay, so ich rufe, du rufst. Okay, er, sie, es ruft. Okay, wir rufen. Ihr ruft. Okay, sie rufen. Okay, sie rufen. Clear? Understood? So I'll put a screenshot of this on your document so you can refer to it whenever you all want to. You can also have it with you all in your books, or you can just refer to your files whenever we are doing exercises. Okay, so I think this Stalis we can stop for now. Okay, so we will do the rest of the verbs in the next class. Okay, and then we will continue with some more regelmäßige Verben. So we're going to practice the conjugations thoroughly. Okay, yeah, Atharva, you have a question?
Yes, ma'am. I have one question that in drinker in last and the last third there is means there is no T and en. Why?
No. There is, I think it is happening because of my file editor. Okay, it is there. I think
Okay.
it's just editing somehow on its own. So it's trinkt, ihr trinkt, and sie trinken. Okay, so this is it. Okay, and
Okay.
Karte. Yeah, it's somehow, I don't know, it's just auto editing the word. So it's going away due to some, I don't know, there's something wrong with the editing part. I'll put a screenshot of it on the worksheet so you can cross check it again from there. But it is gonna have that T and it's gonna have that N. It's just not appearing properly on the screen. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. All
Thank you.
right. Okay, so yeah, I guess that's the stylus. We can start.
Wait,
Yeah, sorry. Go ahead. Yeah.
Ma'am, how do you pronounce that regal machige? What's that?
Regal mäßiger Verben.
Messige verben.
Yeah, Verben. So Verben is verbs, na? So regal mäßiger Verben.
That please, bitte,
Wie bitte?
ma'am.
Ja, bitte
Ah,
is please. Yeah. So the question says, bitte konjugieren Sie die folgende Verben. That is, the question says, please conjugate the following verbs.
oh, okay.
Okay?
Ma'am,
Yeah.
and the next part that you're supposed that you said we'll do in next class, can you put that as well in the document so that we can try
Yeah,
from
no problem. I'll share it on your documents. Yeah, I'll share the question.
it's like the same way, right?
Yeah. It's absolutely the same way. Yeah, I think most verbs, yeah, they are all the same, regular only. I'll put it up on the document. You can try it on your own, no problem.
Ma'am, just write the meaning like sing, ask, search, na. Just that.
Yeah, I'll do that when I post it on the document. So I'll just do that. Okay?
Okay, okay.
Yeah. All right, no problem. I'll post it on the document. Okay? All right. Anything else? Any other questions? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So yeah. I'll talk to you. I think you wanted to discuss some previous doubts also, na? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
So yeah, I guess that's the status then. We can stop for now. So we'll meet on Friday, same time, and then we will continue. Okay. So yeah, the rest of you all can leave the call if you all wish to. Okay. Yeah, go ahead. Tell me.
Yes,
Danke.
ma'am.
Vielen Dank.
Yeah, danke. Tschüss. Yeah. Bis Freitag. Bye. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. I have some doubts. Like,
Hmm.
what is the difference between Fornama and Nama? Like, Fornama is the first name.
So Fornama is just first name. Nama can be your first name, just your first name, your full name. That is both. Fornama is basically only your first name.
So, when can we use this? Like, Nama and
If
Fornama.
you just,
Well, both are same.
yeah. Nama is basically the person can answer with the full name. So zum Beispiel, mein Name ist Paul Schmidt, like that. But Vorname is just gonna be mein Vorname is Paul. So it's just contextual. If you feel like, yeah, you just need to know the first name of somebody, you can specifically ask for it. But normally, Wie ist Ihr Name also works in the same way.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay?
And
All right.
yes, ma'am. And this, I have another doubt. Like, where sind Sie? And ich bin
So
Artist. What does that mean?
where sind Sie? It's like asking, who are you?
Who are
So
you?
Wie ist Ihr Name is like you when you're asking, okay, what is your name? Where sind Sie? It's saying, okay, who are you? Like, I am this so and so. I am this, that way.
Ich bin means
Ich bin, das ist ich bin. Ich nein, ich is what we
ich
pronounce it
bin.
as. Ich bin. So ich bin. So zum Beispiel, ich bin Ankita.
So
So
it's
I'm
like
just saying, I am, yeah.
I'm Ankita
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Correct.
Okay, and ma'am, I have reading some of nouns like das Land and die Länder. So why does this changes like
This is
das and
singular plural. Okay, so for that, like I said, go through the class 4 thoroughly, because there we have that explanation of nouns and pronouns. Okay, so das Land is singular, one country, but die Länder is plural. That is then many lands or many countries, like that. So that is singular and plural. So for that, you can just go through the 4th class again very thoroughly.
okay, ma'am. And I
Okay.
have like another doubt. In English, we have where, when, which, who.
That I haven't taught yet, so that is something that you will learn later. So right now you can just learn these questions as phrases. The grammar part of it, we will be doing it in the further classes. So I
Okay, so
haven't taught
this
that
is like
as yet.
yes. This is woher and
So we
wonos.
will learn the
These are the
difference. Yeah, we'll learn all of that. Individually, we'll take one question and we'll see what does woher mean, what does wo mean, like that. That we're gonna learn.
okay. And
Okay.
like if I have to ask someone which language do you speak?
So das ist welche Sprachen sprechen Sie? Ja. Okay. Yeah. So right now
So
you
the
can
rule
just
is
learn them
rule
as
will apply
phrases.
every.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. But I want to ask that the rule will apply every time whenever A is ahead of CH
Yeah.
and C is
ACH
ahead
is
of C.
always kh. Yeah. 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 It's
Okay.
always kh, but we learn individual pronunciations. So you can just remember the one word for now. Whenever we come across some other word like that, we learn the pronunciation of that word individually. Okay. All right. Anything else?
Ma'am, when do we use Prache and Spreche?
Sprache is the language, Sprechen is to speak. So they are two different words. So Sprache and Sprechen is to speak a language.
And
Sprache is language and Spreche is speak.
Ha, Sprechen is the verb. So when we do now conjugations, we learn how the verb is used. But speaking is the action of speaking. That's a Sprechen.
ma'am, I have one book. The book name is.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am. One minute.
Hmm.
Ma'am. I have one book.
Yeah.
The book name is German English Bilingual Visual Dictionary. It is very
Hmm.
good book. Can I share it?
Yeah. Sure. Why not?
It's a 10,000 noun with a illustration.
You can share that. No problem.
Okay.
Okay. All
Where,
right.
where can I share this?
Right now, if possible, next class, no, I'll just ask them again to enable the chat option on Zoom. So you can share it on the Google chat so that everybody can get it.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So today, I don't know, for some reason, your chat option was not enabled, but I'll just remind them again to start the chat option in the next class. So when you have that access, you can just share the link. Okay. All right.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Anything else?
No, ma'am. No. Vielen Dank.
Okay. Ja, bitte schon, kein Problem. Okay, so we will stop for now. So I'll see you all on Friday and we will continue with our verbs. Okay, also, so danke schön, ciao, bis Freitag.
Ciao, ma'am. Ciao.
Tschüss.
Ciao,
Ja,
ma'am.
ciao.
For sure. For sure. Ranga. Harsha.